The new look Chicago Bulls just keep on getting reinforcements. So tonight, finally, we'll be able to see Nick Richards and Rob Dillingham, a legit 7-footer and a prospect guard. How do they look? Let's talk about it. What is going on, Bulls Nation? So the assessment continues with these new players from the Bulls against the Nuggets. I'm again, this new look Bulls are not made to win now. You can see how unbalanced the roster is, and I don't even know if you want to call it a, I don't know, rehearsal or sort of a tryout, but I have a feeling we already know who's staying and who's going. And I feel like it's going to be Rob Dillingham. And the idea, at least on paper, is Jaden Ivey. There's no scenario where they need to retain or they should retain Anthony Simons. And he's the best player on who they received. He had a rough night tonight. He got 32 minutes, way too many minutes for Simons, honestly. He got 15 points, but only shot 5 of 15, 3 out of 10 in the three-point area. He's -6. He does have 6 assists and 4 rebounds, so that's not too bad at all. Jaden Ivey also had a so-so night, 30 minutes. It's a lot of minutes. Only 10 points, 3 of 7, 2 of 5, and he got that meme where he's dribbling the ball down, and he's like, I don't know, just crab dribbling, just hopping around. He has 3 assists, 6 rebounds as well. 3 turnovers though. Not good. Simons didn't have a turnover, so that's not bad. He just shot poorly on the field. Yabusele started tonight. 4 of 13, pretty bad. 4 of 10 in three-point area. My God, I didn't know this guy's taking 10 three-pointers. Woo, that is intense. Okoro, pretty good night for him. -14 though, but 13 points. Matas Bzelis, 21 points. That is encouraging. 7 of 13, not bad. 50% from three-point area, 3 of 4. I like that from Matas. 8 rebounds. It feels like this is an addition by subtraction, because by removing, kind of like the quote-unquote veterans, it feels like Matas is more freely to play now. Like he knows that this is his team, and he's not gun shy about it. And sometimes it would kill you, but you want to see that aggressiveness. You want him to learn from his mistakes. And most importantly, you want him to realize that he needs 10 pounds of muscles, maybe, on his frame, so he could be more effective down low, defensive-wise, and also rebounding the ball. Because of his length, his athleticism, he should be a better defender. His timing is good. He's just getting pushed around, and it'll come in time. The kid is, 21 years old? Maybe not even. It'll come. Hopefully it does, because he has tons of potential still. I believe in Matas. I believe he can still make that leap. Just physical attributes. I think mentally he's there. Look at that. Like, he just got blocked by Joker. Joker's so much bigger, both frame-wise and height-wise on him, but hopefully he has the shooting, he has the mindset, the aggressiveness. When the body comes in, it'll be good. But what I'm excited about this team is that the new look Bulls, like, we always blamed Nick Vucevic for being a bad defender. We don't have a good point of attack defense, but look at that switch, and it's still pretty bad. That switching needs to be refined, and granting this is only the first game of Nick Richards, so it'll improve. They don't know the assignments yet. They don't know the philosophy of defense, if we have any, but I feel like that would improve over time. Nick Richards played pretty well tonight. He had, I think, 15 points. Yeah, 15 points. Pretty efficient shooting, 5 out of 8, 7 rebounds. I like what I see from him. I forgot that a center is supposed to look and feel like him, because in the past 5 years, we have a center that's, camping out outside, getting rebounds, but not in that kind of like a rebounding center, that you know what I mean. But Nick Richards is that, protecting the rim as well, catching lobs. When did we hear that? Like a lob from our center. That's rare. Look at that. That's pretty decent defense. Just better offense. Can't believe I said that from a Jonas Valanciunas. But I like what I see from Nick Richards. I honestly don't mind bringing him back for cheap, If we can't get, look at that offensive rebound, that's an end one from Nick Richards, something. Vooch was doing that too, make no mistake about it. Colin Sexton, though, and I said this before the trade happened, if there is one guy that just weirdly enough, if he takes less money, and I'm not going to pay him anything more than 10 perhaps, if another team is willing to do that, more power to him, good for him, take that bag. But if he's available, I would say a 10 mil a year, if not, if kind of like an IO deal, if not less. I feel like somebody's going to pay him, though. I wouldn't mind bringing him in as the fourth guard. More than Simons, for sure. And let me tell you why. Scoring-wise, Simons is a better scorer. He's a flamethrower out there. But that's the role that should be reserved for IB and Dillingham, not Simons. Simons, as good as he is, and he's the best player out of the bunch, we shouldn't even be looking at keeping him because he's 27 years old. I think he hits his prime. And he'll be like a better version of Kobe, I would say. A more athletic Kobe. He won the slam dunk champion back in the day, 2021. But Sexton brings that dog mentality. If Sexton was like 4 inches taller, my God, I would love to keep him. Because we need that. We need that, chest pounding, screaming at other guards. The problem is we have too many guards already. I guess if Ivy, all of a sudden, somebody offers Ivy $15 million a year, and you can only retain Sexton for like 10, I wouldn't mind keeping him. Like I said, you need players like that. For sure, what's going to be left here for now looks like it's Giddy, Trey Jones, and Rob Dillingham. Those are 2 small guards in your backcourt. But we already know that Trey Jones can play next to Josh Giddy. And if one of those guys sits on the bench, then you have Rob Dillingham. Ideally, as much as I like Trey Jones, you want to give Rob Dillingham some reps out there because his ceiling is higher than Trey Jones. You saw last night. I like what I see from Rob Dillingham. The handles are crisp. It has some bounce on it. This is his first game. He's going to make mistakes. He's 21 years old? Maybe 20? I forgot his age. But if you can unlock something from Rob Dillingham, you might have a good combo of a higher ceiling of Dillingham and Giddy. This might be a poor man's version of, maybe a very poor man's version of Luka and Jalen Brunson back in the day. Like Jalen Brunson has a bigger body, but the same size, basically, as Dillingham. And Dillingham is also young as well. He's like 8 years younger. If Dillingham, like I said, continues to develop, and we have him in a rookie scale contract for a couple of more years. So he would stay with the Bulls. He could be a project. I don't see the Bulls winning anytime soon. So we could be here in the development of Dillingham with Ivy as well. But like I said, if somebody's going to offer Ivy like 15 to 17 million a year, if I'm the Bulls, I'm not sure if I want to commit that long for Ivy, even though I do see the potential. It's because he does, unlike Dillingham doesn't have any prior injuries. Ivy does. So you don't want to do a Patrick Williams situation once again, where you overcommit yourself from a quote-unquote potential, especially with somebody, because that means it's like 45 mil in 3 years. I don't know if I'm okay with that. Now, if it's 30 for 3, I can live with that, but nothing more than that, because that would kill your flexibility moving forward. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you what that flexibility of trading Kobe and Ayo could bring to Chicago. But so far, I like from what I see from this team. I'm excited from the future, not the season, but the future moving forward. But let me know what you think about this new Bulls team on the comments. Thank you for watching. And if you're a Bulls fan, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate that. Then thank you for watching.